Imagine walking past someone on the street, exchanging a casual glance, completely unaware that you've just brushed shoulders with the unthinkable, a mind cloaked in darkness, capable of heinous acts beyond comprehension. This isn't mere fiction. History is littered with such chilling realities, where ordinary facades hide extraordinary malevolence. Today, we delve deep into the abyss, unraveling the psyche of the most enigmatic predators among us, serial killers. In the realm of criminal justice, understanding the mind of a serial killer isn't just about satisfying morbid curiosity. It's a crucial pillar in the edifice of behavioral analysis. It's about preempting the predator, decoding a pattern from what appears to be chaos, and perhaps saving innocent lives. Our journey through this shadowed landscape is guided by science, psychology, and the stark testimonies of history itself. Behavioral signs are like the pieces of a complex puzzle, each one fitting into a larger, more ominous picture. Today, we meticulously piece together this puzzle, exploring 5 behavioral indicators that, while individually might seem benign, collectively sketch the portrait of a potential serial killer. From the chillingly charismatic to the coldly manipulative, these are signs that demand our attention, not just for the sake of curiosity, but for the potential to foresee and forestall unthinkable horrors. As we navigate through this dark territory, we'll explore the significance of superficial charm, an attribute alarmingly common among history's most notorious killers. We'll dissect the manipulative prowess that allows these individuals to hide in plain sight, their true natures obscured behind a veil of deceit. Our exploration will reveal the chilling lack of empathy that enables them to commit their crimes without remorse, the pathological need for control that dictates their every move, and the thrill-seeking behavior that drives them to escalate their atrocities. Each sign is a thread in the larger tapestry of their psyche, woven together into a chilling narrative of danger and darkness. So, stay with us as we unveil these harrowing tales, not just to quench our thirst for knowledge, but to arm ourselves with the wisdom to recognize the wolves hiding in sheep's clothing. Understanding these signs is our shield, our beacon in the night, guiding us in the unending vigilance required to keep such darkness at bay. Join us in this crucial exploration as we seek not just to understand, but to anticipate, to protect, and to prevent. Sign 1. Superficial charm and high intelligence. In the shadowed corners of criminal psychology, 2 traits often emerge in the profiles of serial killers: an enigmatic charm and a cunning intelligence. These attributes, far from being just positive social skills, serve as a sinister mask, concealing the true nature of a predator. This section delves into how these characteristics not only facilitate their heinous acts, but also enable them to evade capture, often leaving law enforcement and the public bewildered by their dual personas. The mask of charm. Charm, in the context of serial killers, is not merely about being likable. It's a calculated, manipulative tool used to gain trust, disarm suspicion, and attract victims. Ted Bundy, one of the most infamous serial killers in history, exemplifies this trait. Bundy's charismatic demeanor allowed him to lead a seemingly normal social life, even pursuing a degree in psychology and volunteering at a suicide hotline. His charm was not just effective, it was deadly. It facilitated his approach to potential victims, often by feigning injury or disability, only to reveal his true intentions far from the public eye. The stark contrast between Bundy's public persona and his private atrocities underscores the chilling effectiveness of superficial charm as a weapon. The edge of intelligence. Beyond charm, high intelligence provides serial killers with the means to plan, execute, and conceal their crimes with alarming precision. This intelligence often manifests in their ability to manipulate situations, anticipate law enforcement moves, and leave minimal evidence. Dr. Karim de Harold Shipman, a British general practitioner, utilized his medical knowledge to murder over 200 patients undetected for years. Shipman's intelligence enabled him to fabricate medical records and cause-of-death reports, disguising his murders as natural deaths. This horrifying misuse of intellect highlights how a high IQ, combined with a lack of empathy, can make serial killers exceptionally dangerous and difficult to apprehend. Psychological insights. The combination of charm and intelligence in serial killers raises profound questions about the nature of these traits. Psychologically, these individuals often exhibit what is known as a dark triad of personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. This blend of egotism, manipulative skill, and callousness, supplemented by charm and intelligence, creates a facade that can be difficult to penetrate. The danger lies not just in their capacity for violence, but in their ability to hide it in plain sight. From a forensic psychology perspective, understanding these traits is crucial for profiling and identifying potential serial killers. It's a grim reminder that the most dangerous individuals may not lurk in the shadows but stand before us, cloaked in an allure of normalcy and intellect. Historical examples and their lessons. The cases of Bundy and Shipman are but two examples in a morbid gallery of intelligent, charming killers. Their stories, along with countless others, form a macabre tapestry of deception and violence. These cases teach us critical lessons about the complexity of human psychology and the depths of depravity some can reach. They also underscore the importance of looking beyond surface appearances, questioning the too good to be true, and recognizing that true evil may wear a disarmingly human face. In the end, the study of serial killers' charm and intelligence is not just an academic pursuit. It's a vital component of criminal profiling, a tool for law enforcement, and a cautionary tale for society. By understanding these traits, we can better protect ourselves and our communities from those who would exploit their allure for nefarious ends. Sign 2. Manipulativeness and deceptiveness. In the chilling narrative of serial killers, manipulativeness and deceptiveness emerge as core traits, painting a portrait of individuals who navigate the world with a Machiavellian ease. These traits are not just incidental. They are fundamental to the modus operandi of those who commit these relentless crimes, enabling them to orchestrate their sinister deeds with a terrifying finesse. The art of manipulation. Manipulativeness in the realm of serial killers transcends mere deception. It is an art form, a psychological tool wielded with precision. It's about influencing others, bending wills, and twisting perceptions to suit their nefarious ends. The manipulative serial killer is a puppeteer of human behavior, pulling strings that lead their unsuspecting victims into traps camouflaged with normalcy and trust. Deception as a weapon. Deceptiveness, on the other hand, is their shield, protecting their true selves from being unveiled. It is a crafted persona, a labyrinth of lies that bewitches, distracts, and ultimately ensnares. This ability to deceive is not just about lying. It's about creating a believable alter ego that can pass through society undetected, all while hiding a monstrous reality. Psychological underpinnings. Psychologically, these traits often stem from a complex web of factors, including a profound lack of empathy, a grandiose sense of self, and a deep-seated need for control. The serial killer's mind is a paradox, aware of societal norms and adept at mimicking them, yet fundamentally detached from the moral empathy that guides the average person. Their manipulativeness and deceptiveness are tools honed by their unique psychological makeup, enabling them to navigate a world where they do not belong, to blend in, and to hunt. Case studies in deception. Examining historical case studies illuminates this dark facet further. Consider Charles Manson, whose manipulative skills orchestrated a cult-like following, leading to the infamous Tate LaBianca murders. His ability to exploit the vulnerabilities and desires of his followers showcases the deadly impact of such manipulative prowess. Or Jeffrey Dahmer, whose deceptive normalcy allowed him to commit his horrifying acts under the radar, his true nature perceived only in hindsight. The facade of normalcy. The serial killer's life is often a carefully constructed facade, a house of cards built on deceit and manipulation. They might appear as charming neighbors, dedicated workers, or passionate lovers, but underneath lies a chilling capacity for cold, calculated manipulation. This facade allows them to hide in plain sight, their actions unchecked, their intentions obscured, even to the most discerning eye. The consequences of deception. The consequences of such manipulativeness and deceptiveness are profound, leaving a trail of confusion and destruction. Victims, law enforcement, and even the killer's acquaintances are left grappling with the aftermath, struggling to reconcile the charming facade with a brutal reality. The killer's ability to deceive creates a ripple effect, casting doubt and fear, challenging our trust in our perceptions and the people around us. A psychological battlefield. The mind of a serial killer is a battlefield of manipulation and deceit. Understanding these aspects is not just an academic exercise. It's a crucial step in demystifying the predator among us. It's about peeling back the layers of charm and charisma to reveal the lurking dangers, about recognizing the signs before they manifest into action. Empowering vigilance. As we delve into these dark traits, our purpose transcends mere curiosity. It's an empowerment, an arming of the mind with knowledge and insight, a tool to pierce the veil of deceit and manipulation. By understanding these traits, we become better equipped to detect and deter the predators who walk among us, shielded by their cunning disguises. Sign 3. Lack of empathy and cold-heartedness. In the eerie stillness of the predator's mind, a void echoes where empathy should reside, revealing a chilling hallmark of the serial killer's psyche, a profound lack of empathy intertwined with a stark cold-heartedness. This absence is not merely a deficit. It is a defining trait that shapes their interactions, their choices, and the brutal legacy they leave behind. The void of empathy. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, is fundamental to human connection. Yet, in the world of the serial killer, this trait is conspicuously absent. Their inability to empathize is not a mere oversight, but a core characteristic that enables them to commit acts of unspeakable cruelty without remorse, guilt, or a second thought. This lack of empathy is a clear manifestation of psychopathy, setting them apart from the rest of humanity. Cold-heartedness in action. Cold-heartedness, a companion to their lack of empathy, manifests in their actions and decisions. It's a chilling indifference, a callous disregard for life that allows them to manipulate, hurt, and destroy without the burden of conscience. This trait is evident in their crimes, which are often marked by a brutal, unfeeling nature, devoid of any compassion or consideration for their victims. Analyzing the psychopathic mind. The psychopathic mind, characterized by this empathetic void, is a subject of both fascination and horror. Experts in criminal psychology often point to this lack of empathy as a key indicator of psychopathy. It's a trait that allows these individuals to commit heinous crimes with a clear, undisturbed conscience. Their interactions, often analyzed in interviews and confessions, reveal a disturbing nonchalance about their actions, a direct product of their cold-hearted nature. Historical and contemporary examples. Real-life examples are harrowing yet illustrative. Ted Bundy, with his charismatic facade, exhibited a staggering lack of empathy, viewing his victims as mere objects to fulfill his desires. Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, displayed such profound indifference to human life, confessing to the murder of dozens of women with a chilling detachment. These cases, studied extensively through interviews and expert analyses, demonstrate how this lack of empathy translates into the capacity for repeated, cold-hearted violence. The impact of their actions. The consequences of this emotional detachment are catastrophic. The victims and their families are left with irrevocable damage, but the societal ripple effects are profound, instilling fear, mistrust, and an unsettling awareness of the evil that can lurk behind a human facade. Understanding this lack of empathy and cold-heartedness is crucial in recognizing and potentially predicting the actions of serial killers, providing insights that are vital for prevention and intervention. Insights from psychological evaluations. Psychological evaluations and expert analyses often shed light on the eerie calmness with which these individuals recount their crimes. Their confessions, sometimes delivered with a disconcerting pride or nonchalance, offer a window into their empathy-deficient minds, showcasing a stark absence of regret or moral conflict. These insights are invaluable in forensic psychology, aiding in the profiling and understanding of potential future offenders. A challenge to society. This exploration into the heart of darkness challenges us to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature and the capacity for evil. It forces us to question how individuals who are so markedly devoid of empathy can exist and what measures can be taken to protect society from their cold-hearted actions. It is a stark reminder of the importance of empathy in maintaining the moral fabric of our community and the devastating impact when it is absent. Empowering understanding. As we delve deeper into the unsettling reality of these traits, our journey is not without purpose. Armed with knowledge and understanding, we can better safeguard our society, enhance our systems of justice, and foster a vigilance that is informed by the profound insights gained from studying the darkest corners of the human psyche. Sign 4. Need for control and dominance. In the macabre tapestry of a serial killer's psychological profile, a pervasive thread weaves through their very essence a deep-seated need for control and dominance. This insidious desire is not just a trait, it is a compulsion driving their every action, dictating their choice of victims, and shaping their horrifying methods of operation. The compulsion for control. The need for control in serial killers transcends the ordinary. It is an all-consuming force, a psychological cornerstone that defines their interactions with the world. It manifests in a domineering attitude, a need to subjugate others, and a desire to dictate every outcome. This craving for dominance is what fuels their predatory nature, turning their twisted fantasies into a grim reality. Dominance over victims. This pathological need often directly influences their choice of victims and their modus operandi. Victims are often selected based on their perceived vulnerability or the killer's belief in their ability to exert total control over them. The method of operation, too, is a reflection of this need, with killers often employing tactics that ensure they maintain power at every stage, from capture to kill. Case studies of control. Renowned cases underscore this grim reality. Dennis Rader, known as BTK Bind, Torture, Kill, exemplified this trait. His methodical approach to stalking and killing his victims was underpinned by a need to assert total dominance, meticulously planning each crime to ensure he controlled every detail. Similarly, Ted Bundy's approach to luring his victims, often using charm and deceit, was a means to establish control before revealing his true, deadly intentions. Psychological analysis. Psychologically, this intense need for control can stem from deep-seated insecurities or a profound sense of powerlessness in their own lives. By exerting control over their victims, they momentarily gain a sense of power and superiority that they otherwise lack. This control is not merely physical but psychological, often involving the manipulation and terrorization of their victims to assert their dominance. Connection to method of operation. The method of operation employed by serial killers is often a direct reflection of their need to control. Ritualistic, methodical, and often escalating in nature, these methods allow the killer to exert a godlike power over life and death. Their operations are designed to maximize control, often involving confinement, torture, or elaborate schemes that reflect their need to dominate their victims completely. Victim selection. The selection of victims is intrinsically linked to the killer's need for control. They often choose those they perceive as weak or submissive, believing these individuals to be easier to dominate. This selection process is a critical aspect of their pathology, as asserting control over their victim is paramount, and any perceived resistance can provoke a heightened response. Historical examples. Looking back at history, figures like Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, targeted women he viewed as vulnerable, using his perceived superiority to control, dominate, and ultimately kill. John Wayne Gacy, under the guise of a community member, exploited his position to dominate his young victims, asserting a deadly control masked by a facade of normality. The illusion of power. The need for control is also an illusion of power for the serial killer, a misguided belief that dominating others will fill the void of powerlessness in their own psyche. This illusion is often what drives them to continue their deadly spree, with each act of control serving to temporarily satiate their pathological need for dominance. A warning to society. Understanding this need for control and dominance is crucial in profiling potential serial killers, predicting their behavior, and hopefully intervening before they can act on their impulses. It's a stark reminder of the complex, twisted motivations that drive such individuals and a call to remain vigilant against the subtle signs of such dangerous predispositions. Sign 5. Thrill-seeking and risk-taking. In the darkened corridors of a serial killer's psyche, there lurks an insatiable appetite for thrill-seeking and engagement in high-risk behaviors. This compulsion transcends mere adventure. It's a profound, pathological drive that propels them toward their most heinous acts, with murder becoming the ultimate forbidden thrill. The lure of the forbidden. Thrill-seeking in serial killers isn't about the pursuit of joy or excitement in the way it is for the average person. It's a distorted craving for the adrenaline rush associated with the most extreme taboo, taking another person's life. This pursuit of excitement becomes an addictive cycle where each act of violence escalates, pushing the boundaries of their depravity ever further. Escalation of behavior. Their criminal behavior often follows a pattern of escalation, starting perhaps with minor offenses or fantasies that progressively become more daring and dangerous. This escalation is driven by their need for greater risks to achieve the same psychological high. The progression can be chillingly methodical, each step meticulously planned to heighten the sense of danger and excitement. Risk-taking as a hallmark. High-risk behaviors serve as a hallmark of their modus operandi, with the risk of getting caught adding to the thrill. Such individuals might engage in brazen acts, like returning to the crime scene or taunting law enforcement, driven by a perverse desire to outsmart those who pursue them. This game of cat and mouse is not just a challenge. It's a critical element of their thrill-seeking behavior. Examples from criminal reports. Consider the case of the Zodiac Killer, whose cryptic letters to police and newspapers were emblematic of his need for a risky, thrilling game of wits with the public and authorities. Or the BTK Killer, Dennis Rader, who evaded capture for decades, his communications with law enforcement marked by a taunting, almost celebratory tone, reveling in the attention and the risk of near capture. The psychology behind the thrill. Psychologically, this compulsive risk-taking is often linked to a deep-seated sense of invulnerability or grandiosity. They may feel they are too clever to be caught, viewing their ability to elude capture as a testament to their superiority. This mindset fuels their actions, pushing them to take greater risks and, by extension, commit more audacious and violent acts. The role of fantasy. Fantasy plays a significant role in the thrill-seeking behavior of serial killers. They often indulge in elaborate fantasies where they are omnipotent beings, orchestrating and controlling life and death scenarios. These fantasies are rehearsals for their real-life acts of violence, each act a step towards actualizing their most depraved dreams. Linked to serial killing. The transition from fantasizing to actual killing is a key moment in the evolution of a serial killer. The act of killing becomes the ultimate thrill, an experience that they seek to recreate repeatedly. The addictive nature of this thrill can lead to a series of killings, each more daring than the last, as they chase the euphoria found in their control over life and death. Impact on victim selection. Their thrill-seeking impulses can also influence their choice of victims and the nature of their crimes. Victims may be chosen for their symbolic value or the perceived challenge they represent, with the killer relishing the complexity and danger involved in targeting them. The riskier the victim, the greater the thrill, turning their predatory actions into a high-stakes game. A cycle of escalation. This pattern of thrill-seeking and risk-taking is a cycle that intensifies with each act, driving the killer to increasingly reckless behaviors. The cycle is propelled by their craving for the intense arousal that comes from exerting ultimate control over life and death, with each successive act a desperate attempt to recapture that initial rush. Societal implications. Recognizing this pattern is crucial for law enforcement and criminal psychologists, as understanding this escalating cycle of thrill-seeking and risk-taking can be key to apprehending such individuals before they claim more lives. It's a grim reminder of the dangerous interplay between compulsion and criminality, where the thrill of the hunt becomes as addictive as the act of killing itself. As we conclude our journey into the dark and complex world of serial killers, we reflect on the key insights unveiled through our exploration. We've navigated through the disturbing realms of superficial charm, manipulative deceit, chilling lack of empathy, insatiable need for control, and the perilous thrill of risk-taking, each trait shedding light on the shadowy psyche of these enigmatic individuals. Recap of key points. We began by unveiling the mask of superficial charm and high intelligence, traits that allow these predators to blend into society, disarm their victims, and plan their crimes with terrifying precision. We then delved into the manipulative and deceptive nature of serial killers, illustrating how their cunning enables them to lead double lives, ensnaring their victims while evading detection. Our journey took us further into the abyss as we examined the cold-hearted lack of empathy that defines these individuals, a void that enables them to commit heinous acts without remorse. We also explored their deep-seated need for control and dominance, a driving force that dictates their choice of victims and their methodical, often ritualistic, approach to murder. Finally, we confronted the thrill-seeking and risk-taking behaviors that escalate their criminal activities, pushing them to pursue ever greater dangers, making their acts of violence a macabre form of entertainment for themselves. Importance of understanding behavioral signs. Grasping the significance of these behavioral signs is crucial, not merely for academic or clinical interest, but for the practical implications in crime prevention and criminal profiling. By understanding these traits, law enforcement, psychologists, and the public can become more adept at detecting the subtle cues that might otherwise go unnoticed, potentially preventing future tragedies and bringing those responsible to justice. The knowledge of these signs equips us with the tools to build more sophisticated profiles of potential serial killers, enhancing our preventive strategies and investigative techniques. It empowers us to ask critical questions, to look beyond the surface, and to recognize the wolf in sheep's clothing. As we reflect on these insights, let us not forget the importance of vigilance, education, and the relentless pursuit of understanding the human psyche in all its complexity. The fight against such profound evil is ongoing, and it is armed with knowledge that we stand our strongest. We invite you to stay engaged, to keep questioning, and to continue exploring the depths of human behavior with us. Subscribe to our channel for more insightful content, where we unravel the mysteries of the mind and shine a light on the darkest corners of human nature. Join us in this unending quest for knowledge as we strive to understand the incomprehensible, to protect the innocent, and to prevent the seeds of future atrocities from ever taking root. Your awareness and your curiosity are the first steps towards safeguarding our world from the unseen dangers that lurk within the human soul. Thank you for watching, and remember, the key to preventing darkness is to never stop seeking the light. Stop seeking the light. Stop seeking the light. Stop seeking